The next part we're doing is the wheel. This is part number 5. Begin with the standard IPT. Make sure you're working on the mini train project. Start with the IPT. And by default it's working on the sketch. That's the XY plane. I don't want to do that right now, so I'm going to finish the sketch and I'm going to delete this sketch. And I'm going to go ahead and create a new sketch working on the XZ plane. Okay, so that's the one that I want to begin with so that I can see the same profile from the tutorial. Okay, I'm going to start with a line. This is going to be my axis. And now I'm going to go ahead and create the general shape. The general shape that I see on the tutorial. They should be more or less about an inch. Okay, sort of that shape. Now let's dimension this to the back. This one should be 0.14 inches to the back. Now the axis to this part right here should be 0.25. Now from the axis to this part right here, this is going to be 0.75. And again from the axis to the back part should be an inch. Okay, it may start looking a little bit odd, but that's fine. It's just that we haven't worked out the dimensions of the width. Okay, now let's go ahead and do that. The distance from here to here should be 0.25. The distance from here to here, this one should be half of 0.25, which is 0.125. And let's make sure that we also dimension the one to the back. Okay, and it should be 0.25. Good. Okay, now we need to make this curvature right here, so which is going to be half a circle, and I'm going to use the arc that's center point arc so that I can choose the center point, start at one corner, go all the way around to the other one, and we finish right here. Okay, so this is going to be the arc. That's going to be the edge of the wheel. Typically all of these corners are going to be rounded, so we're going to use the fillet tool. And our 2D fillet tool, we need to go ahead and set it at 0.0625. On the tutorial it says 0.063 because it's rounding off to the nearest third digit, but we just want to go ahead and make it 0.25 so that these things are not going to be overlapping. It really shouldn't be that much of a problem. Okay, so the fillet is 0.0625 from here to here, 0.625 from here to here, 625 from here to here, and 625 from here to here. Okay, so most of our shape is done. If you want to trim this, we can trim it. Okay, let's finish the sketch. Alright, that's why I wanted this orientation to be this way. We're going to revolve this profile around the axis that I'm going to set, which is why I had made that line previously in the beginning. Okay, so it goes a full 360. Click on OK. So now I'm going to work on the back so that I can make the holes. So I'm going to sketch. Okay, let's look at this from the left side. And then I'm going to make 3 lines going from the center. One is going to be horizontal. Right click, restart. Going from the center again. It doesn't matter what the distance of this line is, as long as it just goes a little bit past the circle. Restart. Let's just go outside of the wheel. Click, right click, done. Now let's dimension these. the first dimension between the lines, the angle should be 15 degrees. The next distance between these two angles should be 30 degrees. Okay, right click, done. Again, I'm going to go ahead and make an arc, a center point arc, starting from the center. I'm going to create the little window for, I don't know if you want to call it a window, but the little holes that are going to be on the wheel. Okay, done. Let's dimension this first little radius. The first little radius is going to be 0.37, and the second little radius is going to be, second radius is 0.63. Okay, let's finish the sketch. Let's go ahead and extrude cut. Okay, for some reason, if you ever have this problem where it can't select anything, we can go back to the sketch and we can just trim to kind of force it to recognize where I want the feature to be extruded. Okay, extrude. Okay, there we go. We're going to choose an extrude cut. The distance is going to be all the way through, and then click on OK. Alright, so one little hole has been done, and we're going to go ahead and revolve, or actually make a circular pattern of this feature. This is the feature that we want, the rotational axis. Just choose any circular feature, and yes, it's going to be 6 times around. Click on OK. Our wheel is almost done. We just need to go ahead and create the little peg that's going to be connecting the linkage arms. So we're going to go ahead and begin with another sketch on this plane, which is the flat, or the bottom part of the wheel, on this part of the wheel. Okay, let's create a circle, which we're going to use to extrude. Just go ahead and put in a circle somewhere in there. Let's dimension the circle from here to the center. It needs to be a distance of 0.7. Okay, now this point, the center point of the circle and the center point of the circle are not even, so we're going to choose horizontal just to make sure that it's centered. Alright, right there. It looks like the hole is hiding, but that's because of this contour part of the wheel. So it's a little bit below this feature, but it's still there. Click on Finish. Actually, we need to go back because we didn't dimension the size of the circle. The size of the circle should be 0.25. There we go. Finish. Now we're going to go ahead and extrude this circle, which is going to be 0.25. And if you look at this at an angle, you can start seeing why we were getting that hole that was kind of hidden. So, okay, so we got that little peg out. Now let's go ahead and make another one. Sketch. On this top part of the circle, let's make a concentric circle. So we start off at the center, and it's going to be 0.125. Finish the sketch. Extrude. And again, it's going to be 0.125. We're going to create another sketch on the top, but then that's it. The only reason I'm using that sketch is so that it can give us a center point, so that when we create a hole, we just create the hole using that center point. Of course, the hole being used right now is really big. We need to go ahead and make it a little bit smaller. And the size of this hole, the diameter, it's 0.0625. And the depth that it goes down, it's 0.25. Just 0.25 deep. And the diameter is 0.0625. The drill point, we'll just go ahead and make it flat. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't tell us in the tutorial. That's just my choice. Click OK. Looks like the wheel is done. If you wanted to give it any color, you could do so under the As Material button. Save this file. We're going to call this wheel. Save it.